What is up, humans, extraterrestrials, and interdimensional beings of all kind? Welcome to What Up, Aliens? A podcast for and by me, Austin Kress. I'm doing this because, I don't know, I'm looking for consistency in my life, and might be the way to do it, to release a podcast weekly and just yammer. I'm looking to yammer. That's the main goal here. And also bring a little bit of positivity into the world, which is kind of a dark spot right now. Bit of a dark place, the world we live in. But focusing on that has been terrible for me, and I imagine it's terrible for you. So here we go. It's Monday, bright and early. And if you're watching this, not in real life. In real life, it's a different time in the middle of the afternoon. But, time is relative. As our extraterrestrial friends who are listening know, time is really something that we just conceived as people. Okay, who am I? Great question. My name is Austin Kress. I am a stand-up comedian and internet personality, according to Google, and now a podcaster. Wow, the white guy trifecta. We are doing it all, folks. You might know me as Stoney McBlaze, and this might literally be the first time that you're hearing me not speak in my stoned-out Spicoli impression. That has been a ton of fun, and I'm going to keep doing it. And don't you worry, Stoney McBlaze is not too far away, dude. He's always with us, and in many ways, never leaves us. But I decided to do a podcast as essentially myself, or as close to myself as I'll let you see. We guard ourselves and we shape our public personas to be what we think we want people to want. And I'm going to do that, obviously, because, at the end of the day, I'm trying to make you laugh, trying to have fun. I'm also going to try to make it real as much as I can and be vulnerable as much as I can, and as long as it's entertaining. As long as it's entertaining, anything goes, dude. That's the thing. So who am I overall? I am an actor, I guess. I tried to do acting for a while, and it really wasn't getting off the ground too much. And then the pandemic happened, and I switched hard pivot to stand-up comedy and internet comedy, and now stand-up is my greatest passion, and also the thing that brings me the greatest amount of pain in my life. Also, I'm really angry at stand-up right now. We'll get into that later in the podcast. And I am constantly struggling with my mental health. I am constantly depressed, and wow, shocker, I know. Look at me. I shouldn't be depressed by all outer metrics. Pretty good. All the privileges, got them all. Check. Every privilege you could have, I got one of them. And yet I find a way to be sad and upset and angry and filled with self-loathing constantly. And I feel like a lot of people go through it. And so I'm going to try to fix myself. I've been trying to fix myself. I'm going to fix myself. And I'm going to try to do it publicly. I'm going to try to fix myself with you guys and whoever's listening, all 9 of you. Shout out to the 9 people that decided to tune in to this first episode. And the big thing here is consistency. So if you've followed me on YouTube or really any of my social platforms, you probably notice I'm fairly inconsistent. I will post a bunch, and then I will not post for a long time, specifically on YouTube. I've really struggled with consistency on YouTube. And so with this podcast, you have my guarantee that if you're listening to this first episode, I've got 5 episodes done. So guaranteed you get 5 episodes, basically a mini series. And the hope is that with that rolling and that underway, I'll just continue to crank them out. And, it takes a long time to build something, obviously. So it might not be good right now. And hey, maybe I'm lucky and I just crank it out of the park right away. That'd be sick. But, most things take a while. I mean, obviously, look at this setup. I'm in my room, for goodness sake. I don't even have a studio yet. So that's what we're going to do. And if you join the Patreon, we're going to Patreon right away, baby. Cause I'm broke. Yeah. You thought cause of all the numbers on the internet, I had numbers in my bank account. False, dude. Numbers in the bank account, very low. Incredibly small bank account numbers. But we're going to change that through the power of manifestation, or getting a real job, actually. Maybe that might actually be what it takes. But Patreon, $1 to subscribe to the Patreon. You get the full episode, and I'm doing 30 minutes on YouTube, and the full episode is on Patreon. And also, right after that 30-minute mark stops, I'm going to start smoking the Lord's cabbage. And I obviously can't do that on Instagram. I can't do it on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. Patreon behind a $1 paywall. So if you want to smoke with me, I'm also going to be doing lives on Patreon. Same thing. I'm just trying to find a place that I can smoke weed without getting in trouble, and I can, be freer. So until our corporate overlords decide that weed is fine to smoke, even though it's legal. In most states, it's legal. Every time I smoke weed, it's a legal activity by a consenting adult, and yet they censor it. Wow. But the goal of this podcast is not to focus on things like that. It is to work through things like that. And dude, you've got so much negative news clouding your news feed. I want to be a break from that. I want to be something on a Monday morning where you come, you hang out, you wake and bake with me, and we talk about positive stuff. So the segments that we're going to have on this podcast are positive news stories. And then hopefully I will riff comedically. We'll find out. We're going to have mental health check-in. I just downloaded an app, and I'm not sponsored by them, so I'm not even going to mention them. Maybe later on I'll get sponsored by them, but I'm not mentioning them. If you want to know the app I'm using, I'll tell you privately. DM me. Let me know. I'll answer your questions. Always I'll answer your questions. You have a question, you have a topic, you got something. Believe me, I need ideas because I don't know what I'm doing. This is a shot in the dark. And is it too late to start a podcast? You're absolutely friggin' right, dude. It is too late to start a podcast. I should have done this a decade ago. But, they say the second best time to start is right now. So here we are, joining the noise on the internet. But, I'll be honest with you. I've seen people with less do more. So I think I got some. I think I got something to offer. Hopefully. We'll find out. You'll be the judge of that. You'll tell me with your ups votes and your down votes and your likes and your subscribes and your complaints in the comments and on the Patreon. You'll let me know, and we'll course correct. Because at the end of the day, I want to make your life 1% better. Literally, there's a book that every toxic guy has read, and also me, 1%. Atomic Habits is what it's called, and they talk about getting 1% better every day. So if you listen to this podcast for 30 minutes to an hour on your way to work, and it makes your drive 1% better, dude, that's it. The bar is on the floor, and we're stepping over it, dude. Yeah, as always, come see me do stand-up. I'm going to say that a lot, so we'll just get that out of the way. If you hate plugs for stand-up, wrong podcast, because guess what? Ticket sales, I really struggled with ticket sales on the last tour. I've got a documentary, I guess you call it a documentary, I don't know, a long vlog, which I guess is a documentary, that I'm going to post on YouTube soon to kind of go through the last tour. Was it fun? Yeah. Was it draining? Absolutely. Did it really shatter a lot of my self-confidence and belief in myself? 110%, dude. I have done stand-up approximately 2 times in the 3 weeks that I got off the road because I've been completely depressed and upset and just in a self-loathing spiral about expectations versus reality. And dude, the haters kind of won a little bit on that tour. People that want to see me stop doing stand-up or that comment you should give up. Ooh, you got no idea how close you were. I was hanging on by a thread. But we're back and we're doing stand-up, and I'm sure I'll have dates that I plug at the end of this. What are we doing? Oh, I'm distracted. Okay, segments, positive news, mental health check-in, stoked and steamed is going to be another segment where I talk about something I'm stoked about and something I'm steamed about. And maybe that'll include cameos from Stoney McBlaze, which is also me doing a voice. But yeah, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But basically the premise of this podcast is, what if an extraterrestrial listened to a podcast about Earth? And they were like, what's going on with Earth? And so they scroll through all the podcasts on Spotify and iTunes and Apple Music and all the other places you get podcasts, the radio. They're like, how do I find out? Well, listen, aliens, if you're scrubbing through all of our millions of hours of media, billions of hours of media with your advanced audio scrubbing, telekinetic powers, and you're looking for buzzwords, keywords, aliens help you understand Earth. Now, listen here to understand Earth. I'm gonna walk you through the good stuff, because it's easy to find the bad stuff about our planet and human race. It's easy to find bad stuff. I'm gonna give you some positive highlights. And also, please abduct me. If you're listening, please abduct me. I'm tired. I want to go. Also, abduct my girlfriend. I'd like to stay with her in all dimensions and universes, so that'd be sick. If you want to abduct her as well, that'd be cool. You can keep us together in a human zoo. We'll be a little private show for you guys, and it'll be a show. There'll be a lot going on. But yeah, that's the premise of the podcast. What up, aliens? I know you're out there, and I hope you're listening. So please tune in and, don't destroy our planet. Maybe kidnap some of the leaders. I shouldn't say that. Don't do that. I'm not calling for that. I'm not calling for an extraterrestrial. This is parody. This is a joke. It's a joke about extraterrestrial abductions of world leaders. I'm kidding. Don't do that. But also, I want you to analyze the Earth and see what needs to happen to make it better. And whatever conclusion you come to, that's fine. We'll let you do what you think is necessary. You're the extraterrestrial being. You're listening right now with whatever you have that's similar to human ears, whatever audio processors you have, and that's kind of the main thing, is just spreading the word to the extraterrestrials about us and how actually honestly dope and rad we are, because we're honestly pretty dope and rad as people. So all right, first segment, mental health check-in. Boom! I got an app. It's going to ask me how I'm feeling, and then I can track through it, and I can see how my moods are. It's something I should be doing anyways, but sometimes you don't do stuff unless you are held accountable by an audience or a monetary gain. So we'll see. Maybe hopefully monetarily, I gain from my absolutely destroyed sense of self. All right. How am I feeling today? I got options. I got rad, good, meh, bad, awful. And I am actually feeling rad. I'm having a great day so far. Boom, let's go. What have I been up to today? What have I been up to today? I have been happy, excited, grateful, relaxed, content. Haven't been bored, haven't been tired, haven't been anxious, haven't been angry, haven't been stressed, haven't been sad or desperate today. So that's sick. Boom. All right. I did it. Close. Not now. Rating you app. This is a quote from the app. It says, "Don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality." Oh, that hits hard, dude. Especially when, you're posting stuff online and you're getting a lot of opinions about you. And sometimes they do become your reality. Sometimes you do start to really take into consideration the things that people are saying about you, the hurtful things, the mean things, and somehow you ignore all the good stuff. I don't know why my brain has a filter on it where good stuff is like, yeah, no, but bad stuff is like, yeah, true. And literally everybody who does anything, I think, has that. Like, I mean, if you're at a job, you probably don't remember the last time someone told you did a good job, but you probably do remember the last time someone told you did a bad job. Like, how many times does your girlfriend or wife or boyfriend or husband or whoever you're dating or married to tell you they love you, and then they tell you one thing they don't like about you, and then that's what you focus on, and you forget the million times they said I love you. And I think it's because, like, I deep down believe that I have something wrong with me, and so when people affirm that, I'm like, yeah, that's the truth. Everything else is lies, that's the truth. And have I worked on that in therapy? Yeah, I have. And am I on antidepressants? Oh yeah, buddy. And am I microdosing mushrooms? And do I exercise? Yup. That's the thing about, like, dude, self-help can be so frustrating because people, like, try to give you all these tips, and it's like a laundry list, bro. You listen to, like, brofluencers and, the biohacker dudes, the success-obsessed guys on the internet, and they're like, dude, every day you gotta wake up. It's cold shower. Only eat meat. Don't eat any meat. Exercise for 2 hours. Meditate for an hour. Gotta be reading books. Like, it's super overwhelming. So I truly haven't found something that is like actually actionable in a way that is easy to follow and not completely overwhelming. So maybe if there's a system out there that you think works, like the obvious stuff, dude. I mean, exercising is helpful for me for sure, but and if I'm consistent with exercise, it's awesome. And sometimes I am. I'll have 3 weeks a month. I'll get consistent. I'll feel good. I'll feel strong. I'll feel fast. Whatever. I love a long run. Like stuff like that's great. But what about when I feel terrible and I can't get out of bed to go work out? That's kind of the issue. Is like, how do you? And they're like, oh, create habits and create, create systems in your life. It's like, yeah, but I'm all over the place, dude. My life is, we got a million things going on. A lot of times, like, you got to get up, you have to go to work, and then by the time you're done with work, you're too tired to do any of the other stuff that makes you feel good. And like, that's a loop that you get caught in. And then your day off, and you're like, dude, day off, I'm gonna do all this stuff. No, you just chill and relax because your brain is finally unburdened from going to work. And then you're just caught in that loop for years sometimes. You don't, then you feel bad about yourself because you're not accomplishing. So it's like, I don't know. It's a real spiral. For the extraterrestrials out there who are wondering, what is depression? Dude, what a great question. I don't know if all species of beings across our spectral planes of time and space experience depression, but in a human, depression is often, I'll speak to one human's experience, my own. For me, depression is often a feeling of nothing I do is good, so why should I try? I don't like myself. I don't like the things I'm making. I don't like what I'm doing. I should be further along. I should have more stuff going on. I'm squandering the things I do have going on. Nobody likes me. I'm annoying. Those types of thoughts. And then that thought just gets caught on a loop until you're really only capable of ordering Uber Eats, which you feel bad about because you don't have enough money, and playing video games and watching movies and scrolling through social media and comparing yourself to people. Why did they get that? I don't have that. And you're just stuck in a loop and you don't talk to people. You stay in your room for a long time. You don't feel social. And that's one human's experience of depression. And it hits everybody differently and for a myriad of reasons. And, it's tough to stay positive. But I think, like, for me, the thing that I forget every time I'm depressed is that it does pass. It absolutely does pass. And also, when I talk to somebody about it, I do feel better pretty much right away. So that's huge. So if you're feeling depressed right now and you're overwhelmed by all the bullshit, I just want to tell you, like, it's chill. Be depressed right now. It's fine. Don't hurt yourself, obviously. But just lay down, take a nap, go back to sleep. Don't worry about it. It will pass eventually. Eventually you will get over it and you'll feel good enough to do the tasks that you need to do. And then try again, basically. I mean, I'm in a cycle. I'm 29, be 30 in January. And I've been going through this cycle through pretty much my whole 20s. So hopefully in my 30s, I can just lessen it a little bit. But at the end of the day, it might just be part of who I am. And I might just go through cycles. And maybe I'm okay with that. And maybe I'm okay with being depressed for a little bit as long as it doesn't hurt me or other people around me. I don't know. I'm working through it. I'm figuring it out. I'm talking about it publicly, I guess, if you consider the probably 9 people that are listening to this publicly. But maybe more people will listen. Maybe more will listen to the next one. I think that's the other thing, too, that I was always so hesitant about with starting a podcast is just like, I want a lot of listeners right away. And the thing that I've really learned is I actually like having a bunch of followers is really cool. And I'm grateful. And I'm so thankful that everyone hit subscribe. But I think I'm looking to connect more with people, just to really find the people that actually are interested in my comedic perspective. And I know there's people out there because I've made people laugh before. And I'll do it again. Don't you try to stop me. I'll make you laugh. Buckle up, buddy. You're going to laugh. Even if you haven't laughed once during this podcast and you were like, oh, I thought this was going to be funny. And then it's mostly just a bummer. It's the first one, dude. It's the first one, okay? I'm rambling. All right? I've had a bunch of coffee, nicotine, unfortunately. Boy, am I addicted to those Zins. Hey, we got to stop Zin. I can't stop. if you have any tips for quitting nicotine, let me know. I can't stop with these little powder packet pillows, dude. They've got a grip on me. They've completely got a grip on me. I don't know what to do anymore. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. All right, let's do some news stories. All right, positive news stories to brighten your day. Story 1, dude. Oh yeah, I ripped that headline off straight from the article that I got it from. Whoopsies. More stolen content. All right, world's largest vertical farm was just created. For the extraterrestrials out there, we put seeds, basically baby plants in the ground, and they grow up, and then we eat them. Pretty cool. But it takes a lot of, you're at the mercy of the weather and the climate, and a lot of things can go wrong. But in Dubai, they created the world's largest vertical farm. And that's exciting because a lot of times people are like stressed about the future, right? Like AI is taking over and the oceans and global warming and all this stuff is bad, war and famine and disease. And we get stressed about it, right? But then that's why I like to find stuff like this, because vertical farming could be a solution to a lot of our problems coming up. Like, people talk all about the bad things about the future and like all these things we're going to face, but we forget that science works both ways, dude. Science also creates solutions to problems that are going to arise later. So maybe our biggest fear will actually not even be a problem at all because of a technology that hasn't been invented yet. Like these vertical farms, dude. It's an indoor farm. They're farming it indoors so they can grow the plants inside, and that's incredible. I love that. So that's exciting. What else? We've got... Dude, India just lifted millions of people out of poverty. How did they do it? Living on less than $2.15 a day. That is absolutely heartbreaking. All right, so what did they do? Wow. Well, this has got to be the most thoroughly exciting podcast you've ever seen. A guy tries to find things. This podcast is now called Get Prepared, Bitch, before you start recording. Does a positive podcast and then is just mean to himself the entire time. Cool. Cool. All right. What? Tell me. Okay. It showed that 415 million people in India had gotten out of poverty in the span of about 15 years. Okay, that's awesome. How do they do it? India's efforts in sustainability, providing skills training to women and youth, and increasing services to vulnerable communities. Dude, it can be done. They're doing it in India. They're getting people out of poverty. That's exciting. Less poor people is awesome, dude. That's great. That's I love it. Okay, what else do we have? We got a new way to track whales. Aliens, if you've noticed, aliens, poverty. What is poverty, aliens? You may not have fiat-based or any kind of currency. Basically, what we've done on our planet is we have money, and it was backed by gold a million years ago, and now it's just kind of, I guess, made-up numbers, you would say. But we believe in them. Money's in many ways a religion. We really believe in it. No matter what the truth of it is, we are firmly believing in it. It's represented by paper in many places, or paper-plastic mix. Also digitally, we've got it. And the numbers in your bank account almost directly relate to your feelings of safety, security, power. It's a lot of stuff. And how do we get it? We perform tasks for people. And sometimes that task is doing a duet of Tito's vodka. And they pay you money to do that. And sometimes that task is literally digging ditches and building walls. And those people actually, surprisingly, get paid less than the person duetting a video of Tito's vodka. And that's maybe what's wrong with some of what's wrong with our planet. Also, when someone gets a lot of money on our planet, they hang on to it. Why do they hang on to it? Some people say greed. Some people say they don't trust governments to hang on to it, and there's a lot of arguments back and forth. Sometimes they're generous and they give it away, but we pretty much use it to define us completely. As opposed to focusing on the beautiful parts of life, we really focus on the negatives as humans a lot. So what I'm trying to do with this podcast, and to be honest, I think I might be failing on the first episode. I don't know if I've even been positive. So in many ways, this podcast is for you, but also in many ways, this podcast is mostly for me. I'm trying to increase the amount of positivity in my own life. So I'm trying to be positive on the internet as myself. It's easy to be positive as my character, Stoney McBlaze. That dude is instantly positive. I have rules for Stoney that I follow. That's why I like being Stoney. It's because, like, he doesn't hate anyone. He gets a little bit upset about silly, goofy stuff and then focuses 100% positivity, responds to negativity with positivity. And me, as Austin, as a person, like, I'm a kind of a negative guy a lot of times. And I want to be less negative. I want to be more positive. I want to be more like Stoney McBlaze. I say that it's my highest self, and it's true. It is my highest self. So yeah, I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do. And if you tuned in for this, thank you for tuning in. Drop a like, drop a subscribe. That is the end of the free portion of the podcast. I'm gonna go blaze up on Patreon. So if you want $1, you can watch me smoke. And there'll be other tiers with other prizes coming soon. I got to figure out how Patreon works. 29 years old, learning new technology. I'm 29 years old and I'm learning new technology. I should have learned it when I was younger, but now I'm 29 and I'm doing fine. Learning new technology. I'm going to keep learning it so I don't become a guy who is old and doesn't know how to do stuff with technology. Somebody help me, I'm losing my mind trying to figure out this new technology. It's of a kind that I don't understand. And aliens, that's what we call a song, a very bad one, a very bad song. Somebody with nearly no musical talent attempting to dabble in the world of musicality. And maybe it was funny. We hope it was. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Do something nice for yourself today, man. Go outside, take a walk. I would say it's easy. That's one of the easiest things you can do. If you're feeling good, you're feeling bad, either way, go outside, take a walk. And if you want, come smoke weed with me on Patreon. Thank you, and goodbye. Salutations, and see ya. What is up, Patreon?